Good morning, dear students, and welcome to your social science class. So, yesterday we began with lesson number 4 of your geography textbook, and the name of the chapter is agriculture. And yesterday we also understood what exactly is an economic activity, and also we tried to understand as to what are the various types into which these economic activities are divided. So, economic activities are those activities which helps people to earn a livelihood and to live their life properly, isn't it? It is through the economic activities which enable people to earn salary, to earn money, so that they can live in a way through which they can fulfill their basic necessities, isn't it? And when it comes to the economic activities, then there are three types: primary, which includes agriculture, mining, etc., secondary, which includes industries, manufacturing, etc., and then the tertiary sector, which is also known as the service sector. And all these three sectors help people to generate income for their living. Then, yesterday we also tried to understand about why is farming said to be a part of the primary sector. Farming is a primary activity because most of the people, not only in India but in the world as a whole, most of the people are connected with the farming system, isn't it? So, this was what we discussed yesterday. And today we are going to discuss two more topics. First of all, we shall begin by knowing about the farm system, and then we will move on to the types of farm system or farming. And today's discussion is basically uh, highlighting more on the subsistence kind of farming. So before going to the farm system directly, let us move to the learning outcome of today's discussion. So students, after the completion of today's discussion, you all will be able to explain the farm system, and also you will be able to classify the types of subsistence farming. So let's begin. So what is a farm system? Farming or agriculture, it is said to be a system. It is something which is done in a systematized manner. It is done in a systematic manner. For example, to get wheat, first of all, the grains has to be sown. This is called input. There are fertilizers, insecticides, machineries, and labors which are to be put in there. So these are the inputs. After inputs comes the second stage. After you give everything that is required, you do the work of plowing. You sow the seeds. You irrigate the field, isn't it? And at last, when all the entire processes are done, you harvest the finished products. And after harvesting, you get the output. Output means the final product. It may be any kind of crop, it may be a wool, dairy product, etc. So farming or agriculture is said to be a system because it requires a lot of steps, especially three important steps: input, processes, and output. Input means, let us see this better through the next slide. So input may include labor, capital, seeds, animals, fertilizers, and pesticides. So these are the inputs. These are the things required in the first stage. Then we move on to the second stage, that is processing the thing, the various processes that is needed: plowing, sowing, spraying, adding fertilizer, harvesting, grazing, milking. These are all the processes. And after completing these processes, we get the final product, which is also called as the output. So output may be wheat, potato, barley, seeds, crop waste, milk, hides, wool, eggs, etc. So this is how the entire farming system works. There are inputs, there are processes of working or operations, and at last there is the output which we get, which is also known as the finished product. So I hope that with the help of this slide, you are able to understand the various systems of farming very well. So now, as I already told you, today we will be also discussing about the types of farming. So broadly speaking, farming or the entire farm system is divided into two types: subsistence farming and commercial farming. Now, subsistence farming is again subdivided into two. intensive subsistence farming and primitive farming. Again, primitive farming is subdivided into two: shifting cultivation and nomadic herding. And when we talk about commercial farming, then it is subdivided into three types: commercial grain, mixed farming, and agriculture plantation. All right. So today, students, as I already told you in the very beginning, we will mostly discuss about subsistence farming and its subtypes. So let us understand what is subsistence farming. Subsistence farming is practiced to meet the need of the farmer's family. It needs less technology and labor. So subsistence farming is done in a very small scale by the family of a farmer. And this farming is done not to sell the products in the market, but for the use of the farmer's family. And subsistence farming is done in a very simple manner. It does not require any high-tech technology. And also, the people in the family only can work in the field and get the finished products. There is no extra labor required. This is called as subsistence farming. So subsistence farming is again classified into intensive subsistence and primitive subsistence farming. So let us discuss about all the three together. So first of all, let us talk about subsistence farming. So as I already told you, subsistence farming is that type of farming which is done in a small scale without the use of much high-tech technology. And here the farming is done to meet the needs of the farmer's family. And then one of the type of the subsistence farming is intensive subsistence agriculture or farming. So what happens here? In intensive subsistence farming, the farmer cultivates a very small plot of land. And this cultivation is done using very simple tools. But of course, the amount of people required to do the work is more. That means more labor is required. So with the help of suitable climate and with the help of proper sunshine and also fertile soil, crops are grown annually, yearly on the same plot. Okay, so this is intensive subsistence agriculture. That means the farming which is done very intensely. It is done intensely in a small plot of land every year with simple tools and of course with more labor. All right. So this was all about intensive subsistence agriculture or farming. Now let's go to the next type of subsistence farming, which is primitive subsistence agriculture or farming. So as the name suggests, primitive means what? Primitive means the cultivation which is done using old methods, primitive methods. And this primitive farming is again subdivided into two types: shifting cultivation and nomadic herding. So what is shifting cultivation? So shifting cultivation is a system of farming whereby people go together to a plot of land. They clear the land by cutting down the trees and by burning them. Then the ashes mix with the soil, it becomes fertile and crops are grown. Until the soil has fertility, till it does not loses its fertility, crops are grown there. And once the soil loses the fertility, then the land is left alone as it was, barren. And then the cultivator or the farmer, together in a group, they move to a new plot of land and they continue with the same process. They cut the trees, they burn it, the ashes mixes with the soil, and then crops are grown. And once the soil loses fertility, they again move away to another place. So this is called as shifting cultivation. And it is also known as slash and burn agriculture. Now, apart from slash and burn agriculture, in various parts of the world, it is known by various names. It is given in a box in your geography book as well. So if you can see in page number 43, there you will come to know that it is known as jhum cultivation or jhuming in Northeast India. It is known as milpa in Mexico, roca in Brazil, and ladang in Malaysia. So shifting cultivation is a kind of primitive subsistence agriculture which is not only followed in India but in the entire world. The process is same, but the names are different. Now, let's move to nomadic herding. Nomadic herding is again another type of primitive subsistence agriculture. Here, herdsmen move from place to place with their animals in order to get fodder, that means food, and water. Okay. And this kind of movement, nomadic herding, nomadic means what? They do not stay in one place, they keep on moving. So this kind of movements happen because of certain climatic constraints and terrains. So generally the animals that the people carry with them are sheep, goat, camel, etc. These are the animals which are reared by the people, and also the products of these cattles are taken up by the nomads in order to sustain, in order to live. So these are the two kinds of primitive subsistence agriculture: shifting cultivation and nomadic herding. Now, let us try to see the various kind of crops that are grown in subsistence farming. So the main crop of intensive subsistence agriculture is rice. And apart from rice, wheat, maize, pulses and oil seeds are also grown. As far as primitive subsistence agriculture is concerned, maize, yam, potatoes, cassava are cultivated in the jhum system or the shifting cultivation system. And in nomadic herding, various animals, various cattle, as I already mentioned before, sheep, camel, yak, and goats are most commonly reared. They are taken up by the people, they look after them, they give them fodder, and because of this animal rearing only, they move from one place to another. And they provide, that means these animals, they provide milk, meat, wool, hides, and other products to the herders and their families. So this is nomadic herding. These are the kind of animals which the nomads carry with them when they move out. Now the various areas in which this kind of farmings are done. Intensive subsistence agriculture is done in those areas which are thickly populated and where the areas are situated in the monsoon regions of South, Southeast and East Asia. So mostly in various parts of Asia, in the monsoon regions where there is heavy rainfall, we find intensive subsistence agriculture being done. Shifting cultivation is practiced in the thick forest areas of Amazon basin, tropical Africa and parts of Southeast Asia. And remember, this is also done extensively in our very own Northeast India. And nomadic herding is practiced in the semi-arid and the arid regions of Sahara, Central Asia, and some parts of India like Rajasthan and Jammu and Kashmir. So as already mentioned before, nomadic herding is done for what? Because of extreme climates, either because it is a desert area, it's too hot to sustain there, or it's too cold to sustain there. All right. So these are the areas where subsistence farming is practiced. Now, this brings us to your homework. So I have put very three important yet a kind of like three kind of questions which will help you to think a little bit and recall everything that I have explained so far. So the first question goes like this: Ramu is a farmer who cultivates rice every year. What are the various inputs and processes used by Ramu while cultivating rice? So rice is the finished product. Now your job is to try to understand or to try to recognize what are the inputs that he used and what are the processes that was used by Ramu in cultivating rice. Then, based on the videos shown in the class, I'll be sharing two videos with you people along with the link of this video. So when I share the videos with you in the class, you all watch the videos and with the help of that, list out the differences between the two kinds of primitive subsistence farming. That means shifting farming and nomadic herding. And the third one is rather simple. You have to prepare a flow chart with the classification of subsistence farming system. Okay, so these are the three questions which are also your homework. Very carefully go through the PPT which I will share. I will also share two videos with you, as I already told you before, regarding the types of primitive subsistence farming. Go through those, and of course, don't forget to do your homework. Your homework is attached in Google Classroom. So you need to write everything properly according to the marks allotted and submit it on time. And your last day of submitting this homework is Friday. So that's all for today, dear students. Kindly go through all the things explained today through your textbook as well. So thank you and have a very good day.